This is Dr. Kevin Hughes, Co-Director of the Avon Comprehensive Breast Evaluation Center at the Massachusetts General Hospital. Together with our team of programmers, we have developed a suite of software modules as part of HughesRiskApps.net, each meant to serve as a specialty-specific front end to any electronic health record. Using clinical decision support, patient data entry, standards-based interoperability, and web services, the software serves as a model of how to produce a specialty-specific interface that saves time, decreases cost, and increases healthcare quality. Today we will be demonstrating our Pedigree Module. What you see here on the left side of the Pedigree Module is a list of your patients today, and on the right you see the pedigree of the patient selected. You can pick a patient and walk through your set of patients to see the various pedigrees that you have created. When you pick a new patient for which nothing has been done as of yet, you can then go either to Pedigree to show that pedigree, and as you see here, the pedigree is overlapping. You can either move the pieces apart yourself, or you can hit the Organize mode in the upper left-hand corner to make the pedigree organize itself. To close out of any of these modules, just hit the X in the upper right-hand corner. But today we're going to go to the Risk Clinic module, which is a way we put in more information about a family. Here we see the family, the nuclear family. We then wish to add family members. We go to the Family History Table Bulk Add tab, and we can add the number of brothers, the number of sisters, the number of sons, the number of daughters, number of aunts on the mother's side, uncles on the mother's side, aunts on the father's side, and let's say there are 0 or no uncles on the father's side. We then hit Add Relatives, and we have now created that set of relatives. Going back to the pedigree mode, we now see our pedigree, and again it is not quite perfectly aligned, so we can go to the Organize mode to let it come in to the proper locations. When you're dealing with a pedigree, you may wish to add additional family members, so we can say that this person has a cousin, and we can right-click on her uncle and add, let's say, 2 sons at this point in time. Or we can add on the paternal aunt side, add, let's say, 2 daughters. Or we can also add as well 2 sons. And again, the pedigree will continue to grow as you do this and move to the appropriate positions. You can also produce second cousins. You can add more parents to go up higher in generation, or add grandchildren if you so desire. Let's add just a single grandchild. So you can make the pedigree any size you wish. When you pick an individual, that person's details are shown to the right. You can add in additional information about that individual to any degree you wish. You can add in their age. You can add in their gender. You can change their vital status. If you want to add more information, you can put date of birth. And if you put date of birth, you can decide whether you know it to the day, the month, the year, the decade, or you're not really sure. So any amount of detail can be added, including the race of each individual patient. By hitting less, we remove that level of detail, which you might not find interesting. We can now go to an individual here and add diseases. To add a disease, you click on the Disease tab, and at this point there are no diseases, but you can add a new disease. When you add a new disease, you may want to pick a group for that disease. If you're looking at a cardiac problem, developing a cardiac family history pedigree, you can look at cardiac diseases. On the other hand, if you're looking at hereditary breast ovarian cancer, you can look at breast and ovarian diseases or any cancer diagnosis. Or if you're doing prenatal genetics, you might then start looking at diseases or problems that come up with prenatal genetics. You have to always have your patient selected while you're doing this. Let's go back here to breast ovarian. And under breast ovarian, we're going to pick that this person has breast cancer and that they were 33 when that cancer was diagnosed. If you have more information, you can hit the ellipsis, this 3-dot button here, and put in what was their type of surgery, what was their type of cancer, ER and PR and HER2 status, etc. Though again, this data is not required. If you pick another individual here, you again can add a new disease, but this time, and rather than going from the pull down, you can type in any number of letters starting with two letters. So if you type CO, it will bring up any disease that has CO within the word, not just at the beginning. Going to COL limits us a little bit more to colon only. And let's pick colon or rectal cancer for this individual and say he was 32 when he had it. Now, you will also want to add in genetic testing information. So let's say that this person had a genetic test. You click here on the genetic testing module. On the genetic testing module, you then add a new test. And once again, you pick what type of group you're working in. If you're doing cardiac, this will bring up cardiac panels for genetic testing, each consisting of several genes tested. Or you can pick up breast ovarian. And with breast ovarian, let's say we're doing full sequencing of BRCA1 and BRCA2, which then brings up the BRCA1 and 2 genes to add in your DNA change, amino acid change if you wish, and the significance, or possibly even the allelic state. You can set all to negative, as that is most common, or let's say this person has a mutation. As you begin to type in the mutation, if we have that in our database, you will see the information come up. When you agree that that's your mutation, it'll tell you the significance. The database has a finite set of mutations. If you do not have the mutation in our database, you can go back and type it in yourself and set the significance yourself. Once we identify that this person has a mutation and that is deleterious, that shows up in the title, that he or she has a deleterious mutation in BRCA2, and it shows a positive sign near the patient. You can increase or decrease the size of your pedigree to make that easier to read. When you now go to test your patient, you want to do genetic testing on your patient, you now have a new choice. You now have the choice of familial known mutation. When you hit familial known mutation, it tells you you're going to be testing for this specific mutation in BRCA2, and you can say that that mutation was not found, and you will now see a minus sign on the individual patient. Let's go over here again and look at this individual patient. And now suppose that you want to produce a slide of this family. Well, with this family, you may not wish to show the names of the individuals. You may want to move the legend out of the way on the individual as well. When you hit copy to clipboard, we have now copied this individual person, but it includes the names. If you go to the settings button, you can decide what you want to show. And if you want to show the name up to the side, you can see it at the side. You want to show the name above, you can see it above. You want to remove the name, you can move it over here. So by doing this, you're now able to have a pedigree that does not have names, and you can now copy that to the clipboard, and it will paste into a Word document or into your slideshow. Other features that we have are to group. We can grab multiple individuals together, right click, and then say group, and it shows us that there are 3 of these brothers present. Or we can group these 2 individuals, right click, and turn them into monozygotic twins or into dizygotic twins if we prefer. You may also want to add the ability to add half sibs. So if you right click on this individual and you go to daughters, you can add a half sib, which then brings in another spouse. In bringing in the other spouse, you now have the choice of adding children to the second spouse or the first spouse. And once again, you see the pedigree trying to arrange itself over time, and if it gets difficult, what you can do is take it out of organized mode, do a multi-select, move these individuals over, and then move a few more of these individuals over to help the pedigree organize itself. Hit organize mode again, and now it'll spread out for you. While this is a very robust pedigree drawing software program, we also have a Risk Clinic module which will run a high-risk program. This includes running risk models, looking at guidelines, and also looking at the ability to produce documents at the end of each visit. Please try our Risk Clinic module as well. Thank you for viewing this video. If you would like more information about HughesRiskApps, please go to our website, HughesRiskApps.net, to read about our other modules or to download our software. Thank you.